Hello boys and girls from grade 5. Welcome back again. This is Nofal Gattan from 5A, Unit 1, Our Heritage, Our Pride. Today we will learn about punctuation and writing composition. Now, let's look at our previous homework on page 23, and you had to use the graphic organizer to write about life in old Kuwait. Alright, let's check our answers together. Let's look at the graphic organizer. Food, fresh fish, raw vegetables. Job, like fishermen, pearl divers. Clothes, like thob, bisht. Games, الحجلة, الدرباحة. Very good. So now we're done with the graphic organizer together. Now let's use the graphic organizer to read the sentence together. Life in old Kuwait was simple. People ate fresh fish and raw vegetables. Men worked as fishermen and pearl divers. In the past, men were bisht and women were thob. Boys played الدرباحة and girls played الحجلة. Now, let's move on to the writing part. We will start with the punctuation, and remember, boys and girls, there are rules for the writing and punctuation. Rule number 1, capitalization. Rule number 2, full stop. And rule number 3, question mark. Now, let's practice. Punctuate the following sentences. My grandfather was a pearl diver. My grandfather was a pearl diver. Now, how to punctuate the sentence? My should be capital because it's the beginning of the sentence. Grandfather was a pearl diver. And at the end, you should put the dot. Excellent, boys and girls. Question number 2. Is she coming to our party? Is she coming to our party? Is. The I is capital because it's the beginning of the sentence. She coming to our party. And then at the end, you should know that it's a question, it's not a regular sentence. And then, is she coming to our party? It's a question, so you have to add the question mark. Great job! Example number 3. Today is Monday. Today is Monday. Today is Monday. The T at the beginning of the sentence is capitalized because it's in the beginning. Is Monday. The M is capital because it's a name of a day. And then at the end, a full stop. Today is Monday. Great job, boys and girls. Now, before you write, please name the touristic places you visited in Kuwait. Take a look at the pictures. I'm going to give you a minute to think about it. Yes, it's the Sedu House, Dixon House, Kuwait Towers, Failaka Island. Again, it's the Sedu House, Dixon House, Kuwait Towers and Failaka Island. Now, let's go to the writing rubrics and to the graphic organizer together. Try to answer the given guiding questions using phrases. Use the phrases to write complete sentences in your paragraph. You have to state your main ideas. You have to organize your ideas. And you have to add supporting details to it and make your last sentence a conclusion. Alright, boys and girls, now let's move on to the writing rubric that we use as teachers to check your answers. Remember, the pre-writing techniques in your graphic organizer depends on the phrases that you write instead of words. Exploration of ideas and numbers of sentences. So make sure that your sentences are correct and the numbers are correct too. Please follow the correct layout and format of writing a paragraph. If it's an email, you have to follow the correct format. if it's a paragraph, you have to follow the correct format too. Please make sure that your grammar and tenses are correct. And please do check your spelling. Again, your handwriting must be neat and clear, and please follow the instructions of the correct punctuation. Now, let's go to the tips for writing. Number 1, use the correct punctuation marks. Number 2, vary your ideas. Number 3, write full sentences, please. And number 4, check your spelling. Okay. Fill in the graphic organizer, then use it to write a paragraph about a visit to Dixon House. The following guide words may help you. Weekend, family, old, learned, proud. Again, the words again. Weekend, family, old, learned, proud. All right. Remember, fill the graphic organizer correctly according to the questions. Let's go to the topic sentence. Which touristic place did you visit? Answer in phrases. Detail number 1, who did you go with? Detail number 2, what was the place like? So try to describe it here. Detail number 3, what did you do there? Try to describe more and add little details. Your conclusion, how did you feel? This is a very neat and correct graphic organizer. Now, what is the topic sentence here? Which touristic place did you visit? I visited Dixon House. Correct. That's a very good answer. Now, detail number 1. Who did you go with? I went with my family. Very good. Detail number 2. What was the place like? It was very big and old. Excellent. Detail number 3. What did you do there? I learned about Old Kuwait. The conclusion, how did you feel? I felt proud of my country. That's your conclusion. All right. Now, I'll give you some time to write your paragraph neatly. Again, the topic sentence, I visited Dixon House according to the questions. The first detail, I went with my family. Detail number 2, it was very big and old. Detail number 3, I learned about Old Kuwait. And my conclusion, I felt proud of my country. Okay, boys and girls, very good, you can do it. Now let's write the paragraph about a visit to Dixon House. Remember the writing tips. Organize your ideas before you begin. Let's start. A visit to Dixon House. Which touristic place did you visit? Just move your answer into the first paragraph. Last weekend, I visited Dixon House. Full stop. That's a very good sentence. It's very correct. Let's go to detail number 1. Who did you go with? I went with my family. Just take this answer and add it to the next sentence of your first paragraph. I went there with my family. Let's move on to detail number 2. What was the place like? It was very big and old. Just take your answer and put it into the paragraph. It was very big and old house. Detail number 3, what did you do there? I learned about Old Kuwait. Just add this answer into your paragraph. And then your conclusion. How did you feel? Remember, I felt proud of my country. Just put your conclusion at the end of the paragraph. And here we go. We have a paragraph about a visit to Dixon House. Last weekend, I visited Dixon House. I went there with my family. It was a very big and old house. I learned about old Kuwait and I felt proud of my country. Excellent, boys and girls. This is a very excellent answer to your writing rubric. Now, remember you have a homework. You go to your pupils book, page 42, and use the graphic organizer as just we did to write about a visit to an interesting place. Okay, so you have to take a look at the picture. The title is Faylaka Island. Try to answer the questions and follow the instructions and details. I'm going to read the first example for you. Last holiday, I went to an interesting place. I went to Faylaka Island. I went there by boat. Alright, boys and girls, we have reached the end of our episode for today and we have learned lots of fun and interesting things together. We learned about punctuation and how to write a short paragraph using the graphic organizer about a visit to Dixon House. That's it for today. Thank you for watching and hope to see you soon.